But how did you personally come across red pill? Because for me, it was heartbreak. You know, when you're trying to figure out what's going on, you go on YouTube like, oh, why didn't she text me back? You know, and then that's kind of how it started for me. And then I went down this rabbit hole, and they kind of went from there. So how was it kind of for you starting off?
Well, to be honest, I think as men, we all come across red pill because some woman made no sense. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, what? Why would she do that? I mean, what? You know what I mean? And it's funny. I like to create like little sayings that are like popular to me, but no one else knows them. And then when I say them out loud, people are like, what? You know what I mean? So one day I invented my hashtag WJBT.
WJBT.
Right, and I was posting it on Facebook, and people are like, what does that mean? And they would see I would post it whenever like girls would say crazy stuff. And I was like, oh, women just be talking. And they were like, what that mean? And I was like, look, I'll show you. And I just started showing them instances of like my life, but also on YouTube where women say one thing, but do the exact opposite when it's time to do it. And I never got it. Like, I was growing up, I was like the super nice, sweet guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was the only moron that I know in 4th grade talking about being married. I was like, I can't wait. I'm gonna have one daughter, and if she wants a son, we'll have a son. And they used to look at me like, bro, you corny as hell, bro. You gonna never get no girls. And I was like, what? But this is what women want. They say they want the guy who's gonna love them and treat them with respect. And I'm gonna be a guy, by golly, I'm gonna do all those things. And the girls would be like, oh, he's so sweet. Now back to homeboy. And
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, and that's when it hit me. I was like, yo, women just be talking.
They just be talking.
Because it sounds good. It sounds good that I'm going to be independent and I'm going to do it all myself. It sounds good, but you ever seen the videos of when they have to do it? It looks like this.
Oh.
Well, I got to do everything myself.
Like, this is what you wanted.
Thank you. Now, but before we go any further, I want to let the women know I'm 6 feet tall. I'm chubby, but I got a hairline and I got waves and my hair is good. I wear hats because I grew up around Memphis Bleak, so I love hats. That's just what it is. Because they're gonna start. Oh, he must be short. That's why he's talking like that. Oh, he can't get no girl. Oh, he ain't got no hair. That's what he got the hat on. I just got to dispel the foolishness.
Just go on it.
You know what I mean? Before they even jump on it.
Address it before they even try.
Got to. Because I subscribe to the 3 Bs. We'll get to those later. But the red pill specifically, I remember there's a great American top 5, in my opinion, comedian of all time, Patrice O'Neal. People sleep on Patrice because he died so early, but he would have been so much more famous if he would have just played the game, but he wouldn't. And he didn't play the game with women either. And I listened to him tell this story once, and he was talking about how women, they're like mismatched, confused animals. He's like, there'll be a shark, a female shark, and she'll be with a male shark, and then she'll be like, but I want to be the shark. I want to be the big shark. He's like, shut up, little shark. And then so she gets mad at him and leaves, and then goes and finds a penguin. But now she's with a penguin, and she's like, man, I can't respect this penguin. This penguin, he's soft as hell. You really want to catch your own fish with your hands and eat it? You the man, you gonna carry around the baby? What kind of man are you? And they can't be happy because they can't respect it. And and it just solidified. Women just be talking. And the Godfather, Kevin Samuels, showed up. And
R.I.P.
You feel me? And I tell people all the time, I don't agree with everything he said. That's why I'm a purple pill. You and I are like the bell curves of the purple pill, but we're in the same group.
Yeah.
But a lot of what he said made sense. And I challenge people to go look. There's one where he's talking to this nice Jamaican lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they talk for maybe an hour and a half. He doesn't raise his voice at her. He doesn't curse at her. He's not rude to her, but he's stern with her. And he takes everything. She doesn't get emotional. She doesn't rage. It's the most beautiful conversation, and I learned so much from watching it. And the main thing you learn is that, the only reason he gets raw is because women started. Like, people never look at, they just go, he called that girl big as a linebacker. I'm like, she walked on the show. She walked on the show saying regular men ain't nothing. I would be offended too. But they never, I've learned my lesson. Know. Don't get me started. I'll talk all day. Go ahead.
The whole thing where you talked about how a lot of the women will go, let's say they want this type of man, but then, like you said, they'll go for the penguin, quote unquote, but they won't be able to respect them, like you said, because it's not even really the type of man that they want. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue that I had was, there's a lot of women where they feel like they'll have all these different options, but when it comes down to it, the options are the men that they don't really want. They're the blue pill guys or whatever they would call, the guys that they might not even be bad guys. They're just, they're not really the type of guys that they would want. They're not tall. They might not have confidence. They might not have, any type of swag. They might not be able to dress well. They're settling in a way, but it's interesting because when I started getting onto the red pill, it came after heartbreaks. After treating the girl so well, I go on a date, go on a second date, and all these different things. And next thing, I get ghosted, or I don't make a move because I'm trying to be nice, or I'm trying to be like, let me play the long game, or let me try to be friendly, and then she would just ghost me. And it got to be the point where I'm like, there's something going on here that I'm not realizing. And then once I started to, dive in, I started to say, hey, why aren't the girls texting me back? Or, hey, why is it that when I go and do this, then, I get this type of treatment? And then the next thing I realized, I came across different red pill videos. And so that's literally what started me is, I forget who it was I came across first, if it was Alpha Male Strategies or Steph is Cold. I don't remember which one I came across first. But once I started to see these different patterns in some of these women. And they'll say, oh, I want a nice guy. I want a guy that's going to text me good morning and all these things. When you do it, then they wouldn't respond. And I'll be like, and then one of the videos was one of the first ones to pop up was stop. It was like this. It's like, stop texting good morning. Like, stop. But so here's the thing though, because I feel like a lot of red pills, especially like Fresh and Fit, I feel like they're very adamant. You know what I mean? Like, they're very like, oh, you don't need to give her any type of compliments ever. You don't need to ever pay for anything. You don't ever need to ask her out. You don't need, like, they're just very adamant. Oh, women don't need to, do anything but be in the kitchen. I'm like, yo, that's a little.
Them boys are raw. They're raw. Them boys are raw.
But it's interesting because I started diving into the red pill and listening to different ones. But the thing is, a lot of it actually made sense. And I was like, I would try some of these things, some of their, techniques or whatever. And I started to realize, like, wait, this stuff is working. But I'm texting, but I don't over text. I don't send another one and another one and another one and do all these things. One of the main things that I understood from the red pill was it taught me personally, because I don't know what it taught everyone else, but it taught me to self-develop myself, personal growth. It taught me to improve myself. And hey, if you want to get better women, if you want to get, have a better life, whatever, you just need to improve yourself, point blank, period. And that was one thing I did agree with the red pill, is it taught that. Now, at the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, maybe I've been thinking about this the wrong way. Because, now they're all saying, oh, nobody get married. You should just get as much money as you can, get as jacked as you can, and just have like a 5-girl rotation. And marriage and kids, that stuff's for the birds. And, in my head, when I was thinking about it, a lot of these guys are listening to this stuff, and the ones that are like bitter, the ones that are, angry that they can't get women and stuff like that, they're going to take this as church, and they will actually go out here and do that and get the 5-girl rotation and all this stuff. But then it's like, you're also creating, you're also creating problems in my opinion, in the stratosphere as far as the dating, because now you got a lot of men doing this in the West because of the women. You know, a lot of the women are changing too. So I feel like the red pill was kind of like a transformation as far as the guys are trying to level the playing field, so to speak, because now women are kind of, I guess they kind of got a little bit more of the leverage, if that makes sense. But how did you look at it when you first started to see these types of things?
Well, I have a certain take. I think the reason I don't think I'm hard, but the reason I go at women the way I do, and for them out there, I know they'll say I go at men the same way, but you got to say that. So it's because it used to be that men were men and women were women, and the men had to earn the right to get the women. They had to earn, you know what I mean? Like there was always hoes, there was always thoughts, there was always wannabe pimps, always dogs. They were always there, but the majority of us, it was women who were trying to be as natural and good to themselves and feminine as possible, and men were trying to show that they were deserving of them, right?
Yeah.
But what occurred is that women started changing their dynamic to the men that they were attracted to, not the men that they want, not the men that they wanted to end up with, but the men that they wanted to sleep with. See, that was the beginning of the problem. That was one part of it, because the other part of the problem is they were so happy to kick men out the house to get child support and to get government assistance. But I'm not going to play that game because everybody knows how everyone feels about that. I'm gonna stay on this side. They started basing it on, oh wow, that's exciting. But what they never see, what women used to go through stages, right? It used to be when they were really young. I want a guy who's gonna love me and treat me with respect and love me. And then they got the late middle school, high school, and it was like, man, he got a Benz, girl. I got it. And that's when they just, right? But then usually around 25, they would stop, realize what's happening, and then start to go back this direction and go, oh God, Tyrone is horrible. What was I thinking messing with him? He almost got me arrested 3 times. Then she would slow down, and Tyrone wouldn't always get the coochie. He would just get time. She would always be around him. I'm leaving school, jumping the gate to hang with him, but he wasn't getting none. But
right.
For some reason, they all decided that they were gonna base their lives on these guys. I call it the prison whore complex, right? Because for some, hey, I got a hot bro. I'm an Aries and I have ADHD, so all I have are concepts and lists.
I want to hear them all,
bro. It's nuts up here. It's crazy. So sometime in the early 80s, for some reason, no, a little bit after that, but that's when it started. Prison culture for men and whore culture for women became in our community became the predominant thing. For some reason, guys wanted to be gangsters. They used to be the gangster. The gangster be like, hey, because I even had one in my life. The gangster be like, hey man, I'm doing my thing. I know I'm cool, but stay in school. You know what I mean? That's what the gangsters used to tell. I had a gangster used to do that when I was in. We're not gonna talk about that. It's in my book later on. But I can tell him, yo, he'd be like, yo, stay in school. I'd be like, all right, make sure you better learn. I better not see you in these streets. And the older women would be like, hey, you keep your legs closed. Them boys don't want number one thing. You stay in your books until you find a good boy, good clean boy. That's how they used to talk. Get you a good clean boy. That's how they talk.
They do too.
You feel me? And then all of a sudden, that stuff got destroyed, and everybody was, I'm gonna be a gangster and I'm gonna be a hoe. And for some reason, women started thinking that because men found whores attractive, that's what they wanted to bring home and marry.
Wow.
And that's not what it is.
That's not the case.
Bro, that's why they're getting all these BBL. I keep telling them, if a man marries you because your booty's wide and fake, you ain't gonna be married for long. I promise you. That is not a man you want to base anything in your life on.
That's true.
Bro, I go in the strip clubs I used to. I don't do it no more. I'm old. But I used to go in the strip clubs and I'd be like, dang, shorty fun. Dang, shorty thick. Dang, shorty. And guess what happened when the club closed?
What happened?
I never talked to them again until I went back to the club. That's it.
That's it.
You're there
That's
for
it.
my entertainment. That's
Right.
it. You're entertainment.
Entertainment.
You're a live TV. That's all this. Oh, that's a baddie. That's it. When I go outside, if I see, I'll tell you you women out there, if you're listening to this, I've seen strippers outside of the strip club. I know whores outside of their whore life. They don't know my real name. Okay? Once I know where you are, you get put in that box, and that's what you are. And in the words of Dave Chappelle, for some reason, all the rest of these women want to wear a whore's uniform, but be treated with respect. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Just like nobody looks at the men and they prison guard. Yeah, I'm gonna sag my joint. I'm gonna have my booty out, this hole in my gun. Nobody look at them with respect. They not the same way they looking at you. You're the vice versa. You're the mirror image of that foolishness. But did you see the video of the girl? They were having you know how they have that little thing where people walk up and then they ask questions and they go left, right, left, right.
Yeah, yeah.
The girl walked up who had the small little thing with the whole back out and then the top of the boot, the cake's out. And the guy, she was like, what would you do if we went out on the first date? He was like, man, I'll take you to the crib, try to smash or whatever. And she was like, oh my, why would you say that to me? And he was like, look how
What do
you
you
look.
say?
What you think? She's like, but I'm respectful. I'm like, no, you not. You got a whore's uniform on.
Right. So I'm glad you brought that up, because when I was in my early 20s, I kind of looked at those types of women. Like, I'll be like, oh man, I'm so attracted to, oh, she's thick. Like you said, oh, look at the body. Oh, look at the titties. And then, I would get with them and then I'm like, wait, this girl is not anything, like not sugar spice, anything nice, none of that stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't understand. She looks good, but I didn't realize, if you're looking at a woman that's dressing like that and she's just trying to get your attention, she's most likely got the whole mentality. And I didn't even think about it. I'm just thinking, oh, she looks good. And that's when I feel like I was more blue pill. I'm just like accepting the type of women that were coming around, that type of thing, and just lost. Like no type of no type of discernment.
You had nobody ahead of you bringing you along, bro.
No.
See, I got lucky. For some reason, dogs, players, pimps, all them dudes love me. I don't know what it.
So you got put on the game way early.
Way early. I don't know what it is. Anywhere I go, whoever's the biggest dog there, they be like, "There's something about this dude. I like this dude." And I realized what it was as I got older. You ever listen to Outkast?
Outkast, yeah.
All right. They have this song. I can't remember it. I think it's called 13th Floor. It's my favorite song by him. And Andre starts out with, I bet you've never heard of a player with no game.
Dang.
And that's who I've always been. I just didn't know it. When I talk, like any woman they used to call me after party game, right? Because in the club, I'm not getting any numbers. If we're in the club, I'm just like, I'm doing my little two-step. I got my drinks, and girls are like, excuse me, chubby dude, bye. And I'm like, all right, do your thing. But the after party, when this matters, and the abs aren't the abs are still fly, but when the light's on and you gotta talk, and she's like, hey, so what do you do for fun? And he's like, you look nice in that outfit. I walk by like, yo, I tried to tell him, son, da-da-da-da-da. They like, ooh, he locked. That's when I would come over, and I would all of a sudden, I'm getting all the numbers. All of a sudden, people looking at me, all the baddies and talk, and I'm like, and that's what the dudes used to like come to me like, yo, how you do that? And I'm like, yo, I'm trying to find out how you do that. How you do what you do? But that's when I realized, and this is what the people you were just talking about, the guys who look at them and they're like, oh, I'm gonna be a soldier of this. You can't do what they do.
Nope.
Those guys can do it because they have this, they have the body, and they have that confidence because they've had that their whole lives. Mm-hmm. You can't do it. So trying to be like them you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm so serious. It
is true though.
I have a friend in high school. I ain't gonna say his name because I'm known for saying people's names, but I don't know if he's married or not right now. But I have a friend who would just walk, and women, you could just hear the splashes in the puddles. just flash, flash as he walked through. Yo, I'm so serious. Matter of fact, there was a crew. It was 4 of us, right? It was them. It was him, another dude who was like the star athlete, another dude who was like the star thug, and then me, who they used to call Little Raw Pup. Even though we were the same age. That's how messed up it was. They were like, your swag is on a little bitch, you little puppy. We the big dog. And I was like, man, bump y'all. And I would still sell out. But I knew where the hierarchy was. Yeah. And I would walk around and they would be like, man, all you gotta do is talk and just do this and do that and do this. And I would go do it. And then it would just fail miserably. And then they would look at me and laugh. And I realized, yo, I don't have the abs to do what he's doing. I can't go, girl, you crazy, and pick my shirt up and she see the abs and then all of a sudden the conversation changed. You know what I'm saying? So all them dudes you talking about, you're gonna have a rude awakening. All those things they teach you, the reason it works for Fresh and Fit is because they're actually millionaires.
Right.
They actually go. You ever watch those gold digger videos? You know why it works? Because they're going to a Lambo.
That's facts.
You're going to a Tercel. It don't work like that.
Facts.
You feel me? So these dudes, they're looking at that thinking, and that's why they get more bitter because they're gonna think, oh, I'm gonna do this. It doesn't work. The only thing that works is what you were saying earlier, self-development. And that's why I hate you, you know what I'm saying, which is my highest form of, I hate you and I'm jealous is my highest form of flattery because you hit the gym and I be seeing you in the pics. So I'm like, you ain't gotta do all the push-ups. Like, why you gotta do all, save the push-ups for other people? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? Golly, bro, you just gonna hit it. Do you do more than one gym? Is there like another gym surplus? Like, what are you doing? You get on my nerves. Cause bro, I promise, if I could get skinny and get the abs, it would be a problem out here for people.
A problem, a whole problem. I already know, man.
You feel me? But lucky for me, I got this and I'm kind of cute. So it ties me over. But yo, I've learned, women just be talking. You guys have to realize what they say they want and what they really want are two totally different things. So stop listening to what they say and act on what they respond to.
What they respond to.
Plenty of women tell me, oh, I want a sweet guy, I want a nice guy. And then I'm the biggest a-hole and they're calling me. When I was in high school, I wish my mom was here. I would call my mom. When I was in high school, I used to, I think it was in freshman and sophomore year, I used to be like, hey girl, stay up till 4 a.m. Hey, you go to sleep. And my mom be cursing like, boy, stop wasting my phone, right? And then when I hit junior year, I was like, hello? Hey man, hey, don't call me. You know what? When you learn how to talk to me, holler back at your boy. Hang up. And then
she called back.
Hello? Hey, you gonna call back with attitude? When I tell you I started that, it was like a whole new world. Yeah. It was a whole new world. When I walked in, like, hey, what's up? You looking kind of cute today. I know. And they keep it moving. They was like, what?
Like, who is this guy?
Happen? Bro, it was crazy. So, gentlemen, do what he's doing. Get yourself right from top to bottom. Man, you gotta let me borrow one of them abs. But get that right. at least one. Let me rent one. I
got you, bro. I got $4.99 a day. That's it.
Bro, you think I wouldn't pay? I'll be at the pool all day. They be like, it's wintertime. I don't care. I'm at the pool with this ab.
Oh man.
But like, see, this is all I got. So I gotta do it. Gentlemen, you gotta learn who you are and use who you actually are to get a woman, because faking like something else, they can smell it.
They can smell it. And that's really what I had to do, because I just failed so many times, after like talking to all the ones I would want, and I would just get shut down and all this stuff. And I can think back now to relationships where I realized I messed up. I was just so weak in so many areas, like you said, when they would trip or whatever, and then they hang up, or they'll go do the thing, or they'll go away. And then I'm just like calling, like, baby, what's going on? Text, baby, what's going on? And then, they're ignoring everything. They don't care. They're actually getting more turned off, because I'm just chasing. That's what I used to do, just chase. And I learned, so like I said, when I started doing the self-development, I'm like, oh, I need to like bring this energy back into myself. I'm sitting here running after, all these girls, and they don't care. And I tell you what, I started watching some of these other videos about personal development, started taking my energy back and working out, going to the gym, getting better mentally. And then I started to realize I'm starting to get looks. When I'm not trying, not looking, not doing anything. When I would go to the club, when I go to the bar, everywhere, it'll just randomly. And then in relationships, I would get in a relationship, and they would say we get in an argument, and she's ready to, oh, well, I'm done. She'll just walk out. I say, okay, bye. But she turned back around. What do you mean bye? And it's like, it's just like having that confidence in yourself to know, like, I had to realize, and I'm not saying like, because red pill, like, oh, the men's the prize, women say, oh, we the prize. I'm just saying you got to look at yourself as you're something. You got to literally look at yourself like you are some type of prize, because when you do that, you're not going to take any type of disrespect. You're going to, what I'm saying? You're not going to just sit here and let anything slide and go by. And that's what I used to do, just to let things slide over. Like, oh, I don't want to, cause a problem. I want an argument. And so, when she would say something I didn't like, or do something I wouldn't like, then I would just be like, oh, it's no big deal. I'll just let it. And then she would do something again. They would do something again and again. And so you get to the point where you have to burst out and scream or have some type of emotional outburst, and that turns them off even more. So then I had no idea. I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I'm doing the things I don't understand. And then when I started to come across, this type of stuff, I was like, you know what? I've always done it this way, so let me try it another way. But so I started trying it the other ways, but extremely, like, super extreme red pill type of stuff, and
you went hard body.
like hard. If they was like done with